Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633, back with another Star Wars review. This time we're going to take a look at the Star Wars Rogue One Galen Erso basic figure. Now this is actually a surprising release, since the Rogue One line is just about ending with this particular wave. The line itself wasn't the largest wave of all Star Wars films, but it was nice to see a large variety of characters get released in line before it ended. Especially with all the variants of the troopers, it's really nice to see what they released up to this point, even if they didn't release every single character of the film. Galen Erso is actually one of the most important characters in the Star Wars lore, especially how they introduced the character as a setup to why the Death Star had that particular weak point. So it's really nice to see it addressed in this film. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the box. The box is in the standard 3 3/4 inch basic style box. It still looks really nice, and I think Hasbro did a pretty good job with the designs of the boxes in general. Here's a picture of Galen Erso. And on the back, it's pretty much the same we've seen with the bio, etc. Now we're going to take a look at the figure more closely. As a close-up, it's okay likeness to Mads Mikkelsen, but it's not the best. The 5 o'clock shadow didn't really turn out so well on the figure, and it looks kind of strange, especially in the various different copies of the figure. I think mine turned out okay, but I've seen other copies which just does not look right on theirs. Articulation-wise, the head is on the standard ball joint, with good range of movement and nothing hindering. Same swivels at the shoulders on both sides, and the same hip joints. Now, since this is a character that didn't really do a whole lot of fighting, if at all, at the film, it's okay that he doesn't have a wide range of articulation, in my opinion, since he really didn't do a whole lot in terms of action. It's really what he represented and what he did for the actual Death Star is what makes this character more important. He does include this really interesting looking pistol of some sort. I really like how the Star Wars blasters look in general. He can hold on to the weapon really nicely with no problems of it falling off of his hand, so it's another ups to Hasbro's QC there. Unfortunately, there is nowhere to actually store the gun, so it's probably just best to just keep it in his hand. He also includes this very interesting accessory, which is actually a full-on mouse droid. Now, I actually really like the fact that I actually have one of these now, since I never actually got any of the older releases. And from what I could tell, I've heard this is actually a possible retool / repaint of what was released with the Vintage Collection Grand Moff Tarkin. So it's really nice to actually have something in representation for mouse droid form. The panels are removable for some reason on both sides, and I do not know what the reason for that is. It does have standard plastic wheels at the bottom, and it can roll across the table with no major issues, so it's nice. He also includes this really stupid grapple accessory, but it's definitely not the best accessory I've ever seen, but I guess it's okay that it actually has that. As comparison, here is Galen Erso next to his daughter, Jyn Erso. And I think he does scale in decently. As a bonus, here he is next to Director Krennic. So it does work pretty nicely in displays. So I definitely think Hasbro did a pretty good job with this particular figure, although it is quite hard to get a hold of if you're not checking on the online sources. I actually got this in Entertainment Art along with Admiral Raditz, which we'll look at next, but I think Hasbro did a good job for what they could for this particular character. It was nice to see any figure representation of the character in general get released before the line was over. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hero Taku. Also check my Twitter under Darkon633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen, and you'll see my content go up as soon as possible. And I'm back with more Star Wars reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.